Hello, Sofa Squad, and welcome back to the damn sofa. That's the damn sofa back there. And y'all, our little sassy sidekick, Mr. Roscoe, well, he unintentionally fell asleep on the bed. So he's over there. He's not going to be in the little screenshot today. Now, y'all, we have unintentionally interrupted your regularly scheduled program with this quick update. I don't know how to feel about this update, y'all. It's sad news on multiple levels. First of all, because it delays justice for Jorge's family and for justice for him, number one. And what we're talking about here is the Sarah Boone trial. Now, for those of you that might be new to the sofa, you're not familiar with this, well, we're going to give you a very quick synopsis of this train wreck known as Sarah Boone. We're going to look at a very few clips here. Now, I did an interrogation, like analysis, I guess you could call it. So if you look at this and you're like, oh my God, I have to see this, I'll put it down below. But just to build the foundation, we're going to watch just a few clips here of Miss Sarah.
So from what has told me, she explained last night that you guys were drinking a bottle of wine, and around midnight, you decided, you guys...
12:30ish, yeah.
Okay.
I guess.
You guys decided to play hide and seek.
Well, we were playing hide and seek, and then...
Was your son home at the time, or...?
No.
Okay.
No.
And thank God the son wasn't home. So Miss Sarah and her live-in lover, George, she calls him, I believe Jorge is his proper name. They were drinking allegedly and decided to play a game of hide and seek. They also drew art and listened to music, but we learned that she hates listening to music with him. Let's continue to hear how this tragic evening unfolded.
After you zipped them up, did you move the bag around and mess with them at all, or you just zipped it up and walked away
Me and I both
laughing?
were laughing about it, but I went upstairs and I fell asleep.
Okay.
Now, some of you might be saying, what's this bag he's talking about, Paul? What's the moving around he's talking about? Well, one of the hiding spots, allegedly, was they figured that they would put Jorge in a suitcase. That's why we call her Suitcase Sarah. And according to her, she put him in there, or he got in the suitcase. She went upstairs and fell asleep. And unfortunately, in the morning time, she came down to a dead Jorge. He had suffocated in the suitcase. And here, this is, what's going on at this point. Now, at this point, we do start to see Sarah begin to, have to make up excuses for why people might not have great things to say about her. Let's see what Jorge's family might think of her.
Have never liked me. I'm the blue-eyed white devil, is what they call me.
And I might have to agree that she could be classified as a blue-eyed white devil. Now, even though she thinks she has an airtight, solid story, she's, potentially deleted evidence off of her cell phone. Oh, things don't go that well for Suitcase Sarah. Let's see how the interrogation goes.
The only thing I thought you guys were going to ask me about, which I was going to be honest with you anyway, are the scratch marks on his back. Mm-hmm. Everything else, I have no idea what it is.
This is literally one of the most bizarre interrogations you will ever watch. And trust me, we've seen some bizarre ones here, okay? I personally think she's basically blackout drunk during this interrogation. I mean, I'm just going to call it what it is. Let's see how she might describe the tragic day of Jorge's last time on Earth.
Sunday was one of the better days that we have had in quite some time.
Well, I'd hate to see a crappy day, Sarah. But Sarah's not all talk and, hardball. She's got feelings. She's got emotions.
And that's why you're still with him, even though he's done all these things to you. And
when I tell you I love him, I love him.
And I believe her, damn it. But now remember how a minute ago she described his family as considering her a blue-eyed white devil, I think it was. Well, let's see what Sarah thinks of herself.
I don't think you all understand who I am.
Okay. Well, tell me.
I mean, I've always been a straight-A student. I am an outstanding mother to my son. Okay. I excel at everything.
Yeah, okay. She talks like the straight-A student thing was like last year. Okay, yeah, Sarah. That's not going to cut it today, Suitcase Sarah. And besides that, if she was a straight A student and so good at it, then she would have done her homework and realized that when she thought she deleted the evidence off her phone, the cops were going to find it. Let's see very quickly how she reacts to them pulling up the evidence of her crime.
It's that long?
2 minutes.
For everything you've done to me. For everything you've done to me. You.
That's you, your voice.
Stupid. That's my name. Don't wear it up.
And Sarah was too stunned to speak. Now, what you don't see here, and again, it's in my other video, is that beforehand she gets pissy about having to watch the video because it's so long. She's already losing sleep. She doesn't want to see it. And she really is just kind of frozen in this. But then, after this, is where the infamous word that is so associated with Suitcase Sarah is born.
My plan was not to go upstairs and go to sleep.
Well, that's what you did.
Yeah.
But not intentional.
Sarah is the queen of unintentional. Unintentional. It was not intentional. She will say this in this interview. I don't know how many times. She cannot grasp the concept that it does not matter whether it's intentional or unintentional, even though they have video evidence that we just heard of poor Jorge in the suitcase begging for his life while she is cussing him out, and then she goes up and passes out drunk, right, while he suffocates a slow, horrifying death, okay? But absolutely none of that matters to her. She does not understand this, and again, she wasn't planning on getting caught, right? Okay, so now some of you are probably going to be asking, Paul, surely she pled out. I mean, this is just obvious. I mean, nobody would take this to trial. Well, no, she's going to trial, and it was actually supposed to be starting next week. And that brings us to the whole purpose of this video. We have an unintentional update. So on clickorlando.com, here's this article. The headline is, Hearing Continued for Orlando Woman Accused of Killing Boyfriend in Zipped Suitcase. She is facing a second-degree murder charge in the death of Jorge Torres Jr. Let's just see what this says here. So there was a status hearing. Now, she did not show up to this. She didn't have to. So this was continued because her attorney recently contracted COVID. Now, again, we know this isn't his fault. It's unintentional. And so I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. So, that being said, let's keep reading what it says. So, she's facing a second-degree charge. She did not appear in the Orange County courtroom for the hearing. Her trial was supposed to be scheduled to begin January 30th. It's now set to begin around April 10th, the judge said. But here's the thing. Here's the big whammy of this. Okay, so the attorney, Frank Bankowitz, appeared virtually at the meeting and said he will present a battered spouse defense at trial. So this is a huge whammy. The whole thing with this case has been, what is he going to present? What is she going to present? How do you even attempt to get out of something like this, right? And so the battered spouse defense, again, the video speaks for itself. Y'all just saw a clip here, but I mean, it's not good, okay? It is very clear what went down, and personally, I think that half the time she was blacked out. She tried to erase it. She didn't, you know how they can get this stuff off your phone, right? So, again, unfortunately, we're going to have to wait till April 10th to see this you-know-what show, because it is going to be a you-know-what show. Now, I do not obviously think that she will represent herself. My God, I do not think that she will take the stand. She's done enough damage in the interrogation because it does not bode well for her. Again, I personally think she was inebriated during it. I mean, she didn't make sense half the time. Some of the stuff she said, she's clearly backtracking. She's lying. She's covering this up. It's just not good. And again, at the end of the day, this guy lost his life in such a way. This is one of those ways that when people tell you somebody dies this way, you're like, it's like what nightmares are made out of. I cannot imagine being in a suitcase and slowly suffocating. Bless this man's heart. Okay, I'm just like, oh my God. So it blows my mind. But again, I highly encourage you to watch the entire interrogation. It's a couple hours long, and again, I'll put the link for the whole thing downstairs down below, and I'll put the video I did on it if you want to hear my commentary on it. But I just wanted to come with this quick update. So many people have hit me up tonight with it, and I was like, we got to fire the sofa back up real quick for this, because this is major. I have it on my calendar, right? I mean, like, this is how much I'm like, and I hate to say looking forward to the trial, but I was like, this is going to be one of those ones. And mostly I'm just like, what does she have to say for herself? Well, now we have a glimpse into that. So anyways, let me know what you think down in the comment below. Do you think that the battered spouse defense will hold any water? What do you think? Let me know. I love you, Sofa Squad, and I'll talk to you soon.